So Jack, a pretty hard fought game here at the Oriam. What did you make of that 90 minutes?
Really positive. I mean, lots of things we'd ask the girls to do in terms of, especially against the ball. We kind of appreciate that Hearts would have a lot of the ball, so we ask people to try and be resolute, to try and be together, to work hard for each other. It sounds basic, but sometimes when you're near the bottom of the table, it's stuff that people can find hard to do. So yeah, I was really pleased we got all that. I think we'd have to say, you know, Hearts deserve to win. We've not got any complaints with that, but I think today for us was more about trying to set a starting point in terms of what's, you know, minimum non-negotiables in terms of working for each other, in terms of fighting for each other, and yeah, we do maybe like to have a little bit more going forward, but our approach was very much to try and stay in the game until we got to the point where we could try and score a meaningful goal. And had we snatched one towards the end, it probably would have been not a fair reflection, I would suggest, on the scoreline, but it would, I suppose, been the game plan we were hoping for. So yeah, in short, obviously disappointed to lose the game. We came here to try and win the game, but I think as a starting point for us where we're at the moment, I think it was positive.
Yeah, and just touching on what you said there, it was a lot of effort that girls did put into the game, behind the ball particularly. Or was it just kind of that one moment that maybe just changes the game for us? Because from that moment on, like you say, there was a lot more in terms of going forward and getting us up the pitch.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's confidence, even just in terms of being confident to ride your luck at times and stay in the game for long periods of time. And you could see as the game got on, the girls got a little bit more progressive and were kind of keen to try and pass the ball a little bit more. But again, I'm not going to criticise anyone for that. You know, confidence is naturally quite low in terms of how the season's going so far, and like I say, the objectives more so for today were to give us a starting point of fighting for each other, working for each other, and being together, and trying to be a bit more difficult to break down, and then hopefully, as time goes on and as we work together a little bit longer, we can also focus a little bit more on how we can try and hurt and attack teams more. But yeah, like I say, a starting point, satisfied enough, obviously disappointed with the result, but for us today it was far more focusing on the process and focusing on what we can try and start to do.
And like I say, today is just a starting point, and looking ahead next up, it is a break from league action as we go into the Scottish Cup. Is that a bit of a welcomed break, I suppose, as we change competition and change our outlook a little bit?
I don't know about that. I think, look, we haven't won a lot of games, we've not won enough games we'd like to have won, so I think every week is literally just, regardless of the competition, it's how can we try and win the game, and try and maybe start a little bit of momentum. And you know, confidence is a fragile thing, but equally, if you do get a win and you play well, then that can do wonders for confidence going the other way, and all of a sudden you can maybe start picking up some wins and picking up some points. So yeah, it's a change of competition, I guess, in terms of less pressure, I suppose, on league positions or whatever it might be, but for us, again, our focus will be how can we improve on this week, especially going forward, and regardless of the competition, I think at the moment we'd be delighted to start trying to pick up any victories anywhere.